Hi again. John Wesley Bready, page 162, This Freedom, Whence? John Wesley Bready has been discussing John Wesley's opposition to the liquor traffic and his urging Prime Minister William Pitt to do something about it. Well, of course, the liquor traffic is still with us and remained with us throughout the 19th century, even though there was, of course, prohibition, which is arguably not the way to deal with a moral problem. But that's all history. So now he's dealing with legal, political, and state affairs. It cannot be overemphasized that to Wesley religion was the be-all and end-all of life. The soul of Reformation to him was the reformation of the soul. But human life being itself a social process, dependent for existence upon the complex institutions of law and order, it follows that in a truly Christian community, those institutions should be permeated with the spirit and guided by the ethic of the gospel. Religion, to Wesley, was not an external crown superimposed upon the social structure. Rather, was it a health-giving elixir which alone could bring harmony, purpose, and dignity to all the variegated but correlated members of the body politic. Concerning matters of law, politics, and statecraft, accordingly, he repeatedly struck notes of no uncertain key. The reiteration of words together with the padding of legal documents as an excuse to multiply lawyers' fees have often been attacked, but rarely with greater pungency than by Wesley. Quote, I called on the solicitor whom I had employed in the suit lately commenced against me in Chancery, he notes in 1745, and here I saw that foul monster, a Chancery bill. A scroll it was of 42 pages in large folio to tell a story which needed not to have taken 40 lines, and stuffed with such stupid, senseless, improbable lies, many of them too quite foreign to the question, as I believe would have cost the compiler his life in any heathen court, either of Greece or Rome. And this is equity in a Christian country. This is the English method of redressing their grievances. End of quote. The great evangelist was perhaps hypercritical of the legal profession of his day. He refers to an honest lawyer as a black swan, and repeatedly he condemns the villainous tautology of lawyers. Indeed, his famous form for the settling of preaching houses, which eminent solicitors have pronounced one of the tersest of legal documents, was compiled to eradicate the bewildering phraseology and tantalizing repetitions customary in such legal documents. I wrote a form for settling the preaching houses, he explains, without any superfluous words, which shall be used for the time to come verbatim for all the houses to which I contribute anything. I will no more encourage that villainous tautology of lawyers. End of quote. Yet if Wesley was unduly suspicious of lawyers, his aversion was inspired by humane motives. He felt that law, instead of acting as a medium of equity and a protection to the poor, frequently was being used to pervert equity and to embezzle the poor. And to him, perverted law, like perverted religion, was a loathsome thing. We quote in extenso a case in point. Quote, we returned to York, where I was desired to call upon a poor prisoner in the castle. I had formerly occasion to take notice of an hideous monster, a Chancery bill. I now saw the fellow to it a declaration. The plain fact was this. Some time since a man who lived near Yarm assisted others in running some brandy. His share was near £4. After he had wholly left off that bad work and was following his own business, that of a weaver, he was arrested and sent to York jail. And not long after comes down a declaration that Jack so-and-so had landed a vessel laden with brandy, and Geneva, at the port of London, sold them there, whereby he was indebted to His Majesty £577 and upwards. And to tell this worthy story, the lawyer takes up 13 or 14 sheets of treble stamped paper. O England, England, will this reproach never be rolled away from thee? Is there anything like this to be found, either among papists, Turks, or heathens? In the name of truth, justice and mercy and common sense, I ask, 1. Why do men lie for lying's sake? It is only to keep their hands in. Is it only to keep their hands in? What need else of saying it was the port of London when everyone knew the brandy was landed above 300 miles from thence? What a monstrous contempt of truth does this show, or rather hatred of it. 2. Where is the justice of swelling 4 pounds into 577? 3. Where is the common sense of taking up 14 sheets to tell a story that may be told in 10 lines? 4. Where is the mercy of thus grinding the face of the poor, thus sucking the blood of a poor beggared prisoner? Would not this be execrable villainy if the paper and writing together were only 6pence a sheet, when they have stripped him already of his little all, and not left him 14 groats in the world? End of quote. No man of his century attacked the common practice of smuggling more effectively than Wesley. Yet, in this case, he obviously considered the representatives of the law more criminal than the imprisoned smuggler. Next time, party politics.